Hello, creative minds. How are you doing? What's up? Is everything okay? I'm pretty sure you're okay because you've started learning Twinmotion. So welcome to the very first session, and I'm Sajid Montazeri, and let's start our first session. So at first, we have this home screen. So here we have various options. First, we'll enter home section. This area provides some information and news from the company that produces Twinmotion, which is Epic Games. In the recent item sections, it shows you the last projects you've worked on or opened in this software. In the templates section, it provides a series of ready-made scenes. If it is on the main template tab, it shows all of them. If you're on architecture, it shows templates that are purely related to architecture. You can also create your own professional templates in this software. In the product section, there are scenes related to product presentation, and in the transportation section, it has projects that are templates for the presenting automobiles. If you enter the learning section, it has provided some short tutorial videos. In the lower part, the demos, it has two ready-made scenes that you can download and use in our initial sessions. I have already downloaded the scene on the right, which is a villa actually. As soon as you download it, this icon changes to an open option, and the scene size is 269 megabyte. And anywhere in Twinmotion that you see this icon, I mean download, it means you need to be connected to the internet to download that information. Therefore, an internet connection is one of the most important requirements when working with Twinmotion. So pay attention to that. In the plugins section, you can download plugins that are used to directly bring a film from a modeling software into Twinmotion. Plugins exist for 3D Max, Rhino, SketchUp, and other plugins, etc. You can install them and have Twinmotion running right alongside your modeling software. So based on your plugin, you can have Twinmotion running alongside your modeling software. However, I don't recommend using these, especially if you're using a weak or average system. Having both your modeling software and Twinmotion open at the same time draws a lot of system uh, resources and make some problem for you and may slow down your work. So pay attention to this fact too. It's better to finish your modeling, export an FBX file and import that into this software. At the bottom, we have the startup. If you don't want to see this screen every time you open Twinmotion, you can uncheck this box, and here are the social media links for the company. And to get started, I go into the learning section, and this ready project that's been provided, I press open so it can load and we can work with it. Very well. As you can see, the project is open. In the initial sessions, before we've covered all the software details, we can go over some key points using this project. At the top, you see File, Edit, and Help. It's very consists menu bar. In File, we have options like Open, Save, Save As, Import, and Merge. As you can see in Edit, we have options like Copy, Paste, and Delete. Perhaps the most important option here is Preference with the shortcut Control Plus key. Very good. At the top right, I highly recommend that you sign in. So the first thing that you should do is sign in. This means creating an account on Epic Games and signing in with that email. This will give you access to all of Twinmotion's features, many of which are free. As soon as you press the button, it will say you've signed in successfully. Another sign is if you go to the file menu, the second to the last option says sign in as and shows my email. So one of the most important first steps is to check if you are signed in or not. So that's so important, and pay attention to that. On the left side, we have a series of options. These are essentially our software's input, our library, as you can see, such as materials, objects like trees and plants, various lights, and for example, different objects. These are very high quality objects and materials, as you can see. For example, we have mega scans, object, and other materials, as you can see. But they also require downloading. We have Adobe Substance materials, characters, vehicles, tools, and other things that you need to download these materials. If you need each one, you can just download them. Very good. And the user library where we can upload our own custom library. Mhm. If you click this button, the library panel will be hidden and you'll see a large scene. All right, so far so good. So the next section is statistics. So here, if you click on this panel, it shows your system's status regarding graphics and VRAM. So you can have access to this part. The bottom panel is our workflow. First, we must import a model, then assign materials, then scatter objects in the scene, and then we adjust settings for photography, still images, or animation. Or you can just use VR panoramas and so on, which we will discuss in detail at the proper time. So don't worry about that. And the next section is export, where we can export everything we set up in the media section. And on the right side, we have four panels by default who are active. One is scene. We call this the scene graph. It contains all the general information about our model. Any part I select gets highlighted here. The next part is properties. Based on which you've selected, it gives you information. For example, if I select a material, the properties panel shows me the materials information. So here I can have the information of the material that I have chosen. We have transform X, Y, and Z, which shows the selected object's location in the scene, its position, rotation, and scale. And in the view section, you can for example, create your own custom view sets. So you can easily create your own custom view sets. And if you don't need any of these, you can turn them off. If you want them in separate columns, you can click the icon at the top and it will break them out. At the very top, we have options for navigating the scene, picking materials, and activating path tracing. The last point is that if this layout isn't comfortable for you, press Ctrl plus P or go to Edit and Preference. So you can have access to this part. Go to the Appearance tab. By default, it's at an interface scale of 100%. You can make this larger or smaller. For example, the minimum is 75%. This makes the icons smaller and might give us a larger workspace. Very good. Which might be more suitable for me or you. You can test a larger scale, but this is obviously not ideal as our focus should be on the main scene. Therefore, either use the 100% scale or make it a bit smaller to dedicate more space to the main project area. Here you can adjust this part. Thank you so much. That is the end of our first session. Watch this video as much as you want until you learn all of these options. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.